Welcome back to another video, man. And today we have Tupac. The real reason Tupac went to prison, a jury tells it all, you feel me? So this is back when he went to jail for, I guess, for the rape allegations with the young lady. I think he got in trouble for Biggie guns being in his house, or whatever the case may be. I don't even know that whole story for real. I remember he said it in a song, and he basically was saying, like, I didn't snitch on you. Like, I took your charges, and the least you could do is tell me who did this shooting to me. And I guess Pac really felt entitled to know who did this to him. And Biggie, honestly, you gotta be, I mean, as Pac supporters, you can't really be mad at the fact that Biggie didn't give it up, tell anything, because it's kind of like snitching. Is it snitching if you're telling your homeboy who did something to you? Or is it snitching only when you tell the police? And Biggie was only being loyal to the person that was providing him money, which is Diddy. You feel me? I'm sure he probably really wanted to tell Pac, but Pac is the one who told him to go be with Diddy. So now Biggie's loyalty has to be with Diddy. You feel me? Diddy was taking Biggie to high levels. You feel me? Pac did put Biggie on though. So it's like Biggie was in a tough situation. But then again, Biggie probably didn't know nothing. But the streets know everything. The streets know everything. And I'm sure Biggie knew something. If Biggie is quote unquote the king of New York, why is the king of New York? How you don't know this or that? You feel me? I see all this stuff flying around, these little orbit things flying past the camera. You feel me? What that mean? Is it a spirit around? Like, what's going on? But, you know, y'all make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell to be notified every time I drop a video. This video right here is by Memo-Digital. It's like the cartoon version of the stuff. We was doing this for a little bit and then we stopped. You feel me? But now we back at it. Y'all make sure I get this video to 25 likes. I continue to keep dropping more Tupac content like this and little documentaries or little stories about Tupac. I continue to do that. Just get 25 likes. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell to be notified every time I drop a video. And yeah, man, we're gonna jump straight into it. Let's see what they talking about on here. This boy had to put up a disclaimer.
It's November 1994 in Manhattan, New York. Tupac Shakur's trial is underway. Due to an arrest back in 1993, him and his manager, Charles Fuller, are being accused of sexual abuse, sodomy, and illegal possessions of a firearm. 4 people were accused, but they only managed to arrest 3. In strange events, the third man arrested, named Haitian Jack, had his case separated from Tupac's and Fuller's, which they thought was strange. With the trial underway, at this point, both the prosecution and defense have laid out their cases, with most people at trial feeling Tupac was innocent with no real evidence of the accusations, including no DNA or signs of any abuse on the victim. Not to mention they also had a confession from the victim that she had consensual relations with Tupac a few days prior to the alleged incident, with her coming on to him after being introduced by his mysterious co-defendant, Haitian Jack, making some people feel that she was doing this as a money grab since a civil suit was...
So it was kind of like a setup on Haitian Jack part. And then right after that, Pac ended up getting shot and Haitian Jack was a part of it. So he basically tried to rob him out of money by setting him up with a girl. The girl, 9 times out of 10, she was going to get the money, probably give it to Haitian Jack. Because Haitian Jack was... Wait, no, not Haitian Jack. Who's that boy we did a video on somebody and he was tied in with 50 Cent too, a part of 50 Cent shooting. What's Jimmy Henchman? You feel me? That's who I'm thinking of. Haitian Jack and Jimmy Henchman. Tupac don't like neither one of them boys. Yo, Jimmy Henchman was a demon. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. That brother was a demon.
So filed. According to witnesses of the trial, you got the feeling he was a man of the people, with a lot of fans in attendance and outside the courtroom showing him support. However, the Love Star's freedom now lay in the hands of a group of jurors. It started with 7 women and 3 men, and 2 jurors were dismissed by the judge due to their dislike for Tupac coming to light. One of the jurors named Richard did an interview and provided some surprising details most people don't know about the trial and what the jurors actually went through. So we'll start with Richard, who was selected by jury duty, and we will assign him as juror number 1. He describes juror 2 as an older senile woman who didn't understand or cared. Quoting, "She just wanted to hurry up and vote so she can move to her condo in Florida, and she was fine with voting the majority regardless." Other jurors felt she wasn't fit to be one, like juror 3, who was a young woman. She was engaged, nice, and very friendly. She would often remind Richard that juror 2 is senile and not fit to be a juror. Juror 4 was a black pastor in his late 30s who was also Richard's roommate while they were sequestered. He mostly stayed to himself with a calm demeanor. He was much involved following the case and posed some great questions whenever they needed to discuss a topic. He seemed more reserved and not involved in the hip-hop culture, had a more conservative point of view, especially living a disciplined religious lifestyle. Juror 5 was a young...
I feel like those are the type of people that you kind of need, because they're not biased. Well, they're not biased. They live by morals and principles. You feel me? If I don't care what religion you is, I say this a lot. It don't matter what religion you are. I feel like religious people, they're just going to do what's right, basically. Whatever is right and what's not right, you get punished for the things that's not right. And if you're innocent, or if things seem real, seem like you're innocent, then you're just going to come out as innocent. We're not going to judge you. None of that. I think all religions, you're not supposed to judge, no matter what religion you believe in. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know too much about other religions except the one that I believe in. But I'm just saying, I don't know. I feel like religious people might be the perfect fit for jury duty. They just gonna, what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. That's as simple as that. Literally, as simple as that.
21-year-old college girl attending NYU who was friendly but shy. She felt the case was ridiculous, that the victim knew what she was doing with Tupac. It felt he had nothing to do with what those other men might have done that fateful night. Since the victim never even claimed Tupac's manager touched her, she would often ask, why is he even being tried? She felt that way throughout the trial. Now, juror 6 was the oldest out of the group, and according to Richard, was a force to be reckoned with, and not in a good way. Even during the jury selection, you could tell she really wanted to be selected, making sure she gave all the right answers when being questioned in her interview. She was retired, never married, and a devout right-wing Roman Catholic. Very
okay. Has nothing to do with her religion, but she was never married, and you lonely. Listen, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Those type of people you do not want on your jury duty. They don't want to see you win, my brothers and my sisters. Stay up. People like that, if they're not happy in life, they don't want to see you happy in life. I don't know anything about the Catholic religion. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I know nothing about it. Shout out all the Catholics. Shout out them. I don't know too much about the religion. Aren't Catholics the women that are nuns? If I'm not mistaken, aren't those nuns? Don't cancel me. I just want to know. I'm asking questions. You feel me? I know religion is a very touchy topic, so I don't want nobody to take anything. I don't know if a nun is a bad thing or a good thing, but I do know nuns are in a specific religion. I think it is Catholics, though. Hold on, let me go back.
You could tell she really wanted to be selected, making sure she gave all the right answers when being questioned in her interview. She was retired, never married, and a devout right-wing Roman Catholic. Very conservative and religious. Appears to have never had any relations with the opposite sex. A direct quote from Richard, she appeared to be frozen in the night.
You never had a relationship with the opposite sex. So right here, you look about 90 years old and you never been with a man.
1940s. Juror 7 was a lady in her late 20s. She was very vocal and stood up for Tupac and would not hesitate to argue her points with the older ladies who seemed to have other agendas outside of the case. And juror 8 was a woman in her early 30s who wasn't uptight as the older woman and usually stood up for today's younger generation's influences. Immediately, once deliberation began, they were surprised how juror 6, the oldest, made the most effort to take over the case, even sitting in the middle of the table and trying to control most most of the conversations, even though she was not appointed the jury foreman. And according to Richard, her view of the trial was, here's this poor girl. He was her idol. He was her star. He was her guiding light. She looked up to him and respected him and wanted to get married. But this is how he betrayed her. And she refused to change her mind in any way. Even Juror 8 tried to tell her people actually have casual sex just to hook up without any plans of getting married. But
she's stuck in her religion though. Like she probably feel like, nah, I don't think, it might not have been no ill intention because she was older. She was hating on a young black brother getting money. I don't think that was the case. I just think she's probably just so stuck on her religion that she feel like if it's not done in the way Catholics would do it, then get up out of here. You feel me? You should be punished. That's how I'm seeing it.
Her lady didn't want to hear that, feeling this girl was an angel who would only have done it if Tupac convinced her they would be getting married.
But my thing is, why would Tupac, if he's an idol, why would an idol, like this is like, let's talk about it, because I feel the same way about R. Kelly. You feel me? Bill Cosby situation, I think Bill Cosby did it. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. That brother, yes, he was a megastar back in the day, but then again, it's like you're putting stuff in their drinks. Like you're doing weirdo stuff. Like you're on some Jeffrey Dahmer stuff. It's a little different. It's way different actually. You're not eating people. You're not doing nothing with boys. But like you putting stuff in people's drinks and taking advantage of them. You see, R. Kelly, that's like with R. Kelly. I don't think R. Kelly, like, okay, realistically, if you are a megastar, that's like what they said about, it's like they try to deteriorate megastars. R. Kelly was a star, megastar. Michael Jackson, they said that he liked little boys. They try to tear him down with the sex allegations. They try to tear R. Kelly down with the sex allegations. They try to tear Tupac down with the sex allegations. And guess what? These brothers are all black. And they did it in the midst of their prime. Come on now. Let's talk about it. Are we not seeing a pattern here, guys? I'm not defending R. Kelly because I don't know everything. I know there's videos and tapes. The brother peed on a girl. But we don't know if that girl liked that, though. And she might be coming out years later because other people are coming out. And they made a whole TV show, a whole documentary about it. So I know they made money off of it. First of all, as a parent, why are you sending your young child off with an older man named R. Kelly? So you knew what you was doing. You wanted your child to get the opportunity to make money. It was a money grab on the parent's side. If you really cared about your parent and you didn't want, your child, and you didn't want nothing to happen to your child, why would you send your child off with a random? Because they're random. R. Kelly is a random person to you. Just because he's well known doesn't mean anything. You feel me? Just because he's well known, it does not mean your child is in safe hands. You would think, but no. A real parent who cares about their child well-being, money, fame, and all of that to a side. Your child is not going with a person that you don't know. You feel me? I can't see how Tupac or R. Kelly would take advantage of basically of a nobody. A person who works a 9 to 5. How can a person take advantage of R. Kelly's situation is easier because these are kids. These are younger people who are very easy to manipulate. But Tupac case, how can Tupac take advantage of a woman? A woman, not a girl. He took advantage of a woman. Tupac was probably the most wanted man by females, like back in the 90s. All the girls wanted Tupac. Tupac made being bald a trend, and he made nose rings a trend. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I can't see Tupac doing that to a woman just for the simple fact that he's famous. Everybody wanted him. Everybody. So why would he force a girl with no money, a girl that's a nobody, to do something with him? R. Kelly's situation, I'm more so blaming the parents than anything. I'm not going to say he's never done anything to somebody, because I'm sure he's probably done something or forced somebody. But all of those girls, I don't know. But then again, once you start doing something, it builds a pattern and you build a habit, and then you just can't stop. So R. Kelly, his situation is different. Y'all comment down below how y'all feel about all of those cases. The Michael Jackson situation with the little boys, Tupac situation, R. Kelly situation. Y'all comment down below.
In deliberation, they went over each charge, all agreeing immediately to dismiss the weapon charges, and actually felt the cops might have planted them because the ones used as evidence were different colors than the ones described in reports. Also, everyone agreed that they could tell the cops strangely had it out for Tupac. Even the arresting officers that testified did not come off as credible, more like a motive against Tupac. They were also surprised that the officers basically admitted to stalking Tupac whenever he was in New York. It was obvious they were out to get him for something, how they hounded him all over town, which seemed odd to them all, especially how the arresting...
Hey, even if the old lady is even saying, like, listen, Tupac, we're gonna throw that case out with the gun case. Most older white women, you would think like they have it out for black people because they grew up in times where everything was segregated. But she's saying we're gonna throw that gun case out, especially if it's a violent case involving a gun or a weapon. Most older people like put him under the jail. You feel me? But nah, she like throw it out. So I know, I feel like this older woman had nothing, like, it's not like a race thing. I just feel like she really stands on morals, just like how the black brother was that was with one of the jurors. You feel me? The one I said we need more religious people to be jurors.
Officers kept bringing up Tupac's case in Atlanta with the incident involving 2 off-duty cops. And if you wanted to know what happened with that situation in Atlanta, make sure to watch this video.
Hey, we already reacted to that. Y'all go check that out if y'all haven't.
Where we did a deep dive with some surprising details. Now back to this story. Deliberation became a tedious process to the jurors, minute by minute, hour by hour, but they were leading towards a hung jury, even writing a note to the judge explaining they are having a difficult time coming to a decision and wanted to know how a hung jury would work. The judge just wrote back to keep going until you do have a verdict. So they did. The first day, most were leaning towards not guilty, except for one, which was juror 6, who voted guilty every time. With them unable to come to an overall decision, they ended the day heading back to their hotel rooms. The jurors were being held in a not-so-nice hotel and were not allowed to have any TVs, phone access, or newspapers. Completely.
Oh, heck no. Listen, that type of stuff will make you want to hurry up and pick an answer. That what? Make you want... Don't tell me everybody came to the verdict that he's just guilty just so they can go home. Please don't.
Shut off from the outside world and surrounded by guards 24/7. Now on day 2, most of the jury still felt Tupac was not guilty of the charges. At the least, he wasn't even present in the room when the alleged assault took place. They were close to coming to an agreement again of not guilty, except juror 6, who would not let go of her feelings that the alleged victim was an angel who was brutally attacked. She was very vocal about her opinions, trying to persuade the other jurors, even convincing a few like the senile old juror to consider guilty, and she was on board if the majority would vote the same. Unfortunately, the day ended without another decision, and everyone went back to spend another night at the rundown hotel rooms. On day 3, they were all called to appear in court for a hearing, and to their surprise, once they were all seated, judge looked over to them and said, "Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I would like to instruct you that the defendant will be arriving shortly, and you are to make no inferences whatsoever about his appearance. You do not discuss his appearance afterward when you deliberate as well. To remember, his appearance has nothing to do with the events that occurred during what he's accused of." Looking confused, they all agreed, letting the judge know they understood. Then shortly after, everyone was shocked when Tupac entered the courtroom, being pushed in a wheelchair, leaving most of the jury startled, wondering what happened.
Yo, dang. So I'm sure that probably persuade them to really say he's not guilty. Or they probably might look at it like somebody shot him or hurt him because of what is going on. Mind you, they have no access to the outside world, so they don't know what's going on with Tupac. All they know is that brother bandaged up, is in a wheelchair. So they probably could look at it like, dang, somebody's really out here trying to get him. That brother cannot be guilty. Or they could look at it like he did it and somebody retaliated and hurt him because of what he's done. So Ooh, I know that old lady is not letting go now.
And left hand was completely wrapped in bandages. He was obviously in pain from his injuries, leaving the jury to wonder what could have happened to him. Some of them even believed, with how much the cops seemed to dislike him, that they might have been behind his injuries. The trial proceedings for the day went on, but after break, Tupac did not return due to his leg becoming numb, and his whereabouts were not reported any further. The jury went back to deliberation to see if they could come to a final verdict. Despite Tupac's condition, they did not let it affect their decisions with the current case and stuck by the evidence at hand. And again, everyone was on board with the not guilty, or at least a hung jury, except for Juror 6, who was the main one causing the verdict to be delayed. Frustrated, Richard spoke to the group saying, "This is ridiculous and it's not going anywhere. We can't make a decision, so let's just say a hung jury." They all looked at each other. Everyone agreed. That's when Juror 6 quickly stood up, telling everyone to wait. She asked, "Does this mean he will be set free? Is that what you people want? He's got thug life written on his stomach. You want someone like that roaming the streets?" She went on with a speech about how other women will be victimized and the message it sends to younger people, saying the details of this case are irrelevant and how the message it will give is more important, making it clear she will not allow a hung jury. Upset, Juror 7 sat up, calling out her bias for Tupac, saying she was being difficult and unfair. She would not go along with convicting a man that she felt by evidence was not guilty, feeling the alleged victim was a groupie and agreed she was assaulted, but it wasn't by Tupac. Most of the other jurors did not want to go any further, and that's when Juror 6 approached them with a suggestion. She said to them, "There's this 4th-degree sexual assault thing because we know something did happen to her that night." They decided to look into it further, finding an example of 4th-degree sexual assault as simply being if you put hands non-consensually on someone at a bar, basically non-consensual groping. That's 4th-degree sexual assault. Juror 7 decided to compromise, asking to know if it was a lesser charge, what kind of time would that bring Tupac? So they sent another note to the judge asking what kind of a conviction would 4th-degree sexual assault be. And the judge wrote back that he couldn't talk about sentencing or the potential, and for them to focus only on the facts of the case and to make their decision. With it already taken 3 full days, and knowing Juror 6 would not budge on anything less than a conviction, Juror 2 being senile, seemingly on...
Okay, it seemed like Juror 6 just wanted something on that brother record to deteriorate, like to lessen his career. Like, I don't know what it is. I'm trying not to go for race because I don't want to make it a race thing, but it's like, come on now.
Teams with Juror 6, they decided on a conviction. They dismissed charges that in their eyes would have warranted jail time for Tupac. Though some still upset, they agreed to the one charge of 4th-degree sexual assault, documenting in the case, Tupac forcefully touched her buttocks. Exhausted, they let the bailiff know to tell the judge they've reached a verdict. So on day 3, with everyone in the court except for Tupac, who was still recovering in a nearby hospital, the jury read their decision for the weapon charges and sodomy that could lead to 25 years in prison, and they announced, not guilty, but guilty for sexual abuse, leaving some onlookers and all of Tupac fans shocked by the verdict. They gave the same conviction to his manager as well. Though it wasn't a complete victory, Tupac's attorneys and others felt it was a victory because the other charges dismissed carried much heavier sentencing, which could have resulted in 25 years, and the charge he received should only warrant probation, they felt. But on sentencing day, almost 2 months later, with Tupac now in attendance for his final sentencing, they started first with the victim on the stand, expressing her emotions and how she felt betrayed by him. And while she was speaking, they noted Tupac stared intently at her while on stand. And when she finished, he stood up with tears in his eyes, looked directly at her, and said, "I apologize. I'm not apologizing for a crime. I hope in time you come forth and tell the truth that I'm innocent," and sat back down. Next, the judge gave his final words, stating, "This was an act of brutal violence by Shakur against a helpless woman." As he continued, you got the feeling he was portraying him as some animal. And Tupac, with a look of despair, stood up to address the judge and said the following, "You know, Your Honor, I mean this with no disrespect, but throughout this entire court case, you haven't looked me or my attorney in the eye once. You never used the wisdom of Solomon. It's obvious you're not here in the search for justice. So therefore, there's no point in me asking for a lighter sentence. I don't care what you do because you're not respecting us. This is not a court of law. As far as I'm concerned, no justice is being served here, and you still can't look me in the eye. So I say, do what you want to do. Give me whatever time you want, because I'm not in your hands. I'm in God's hands.
Yo, that just gave me chills. That just gave me chills. I'ma keep it a buck with you. The brother Tupac, oh man, that brother, man, imagine saying you don't even respect me enough to look me in my eyes, and you're gonna give me this time. You're gonna convict me of a crime that I did not commit, and you mean to tell me you cannot look me in my eyes while you punish me? Pause. No, oh my God! Pause. Oh my God! Pause. Listen, you cannot look me in my eyes as a man and tell me my sentencing. You feel me? You can't do that. Why? Why? Are you intimidated by me? Are you scared of me because of my Tupac? In his mind, he could have thought it was a race thing or whatever. But hey, I don't know. That's deep though. He said, I'm not in your hands. I'm in God's hand. You feel me? Only God can judge me. Literally. Isn't that one of his songs? Only God could judge me.
Youth, I got so involved in my career that I didn't see this coming. I have no shame. I don't feel shame. Leaving everyone stunned in the courtroom. It was such a moving moment. Randomly, a young lady ran up on Tupac in front of the courtroom, draped over his back, leaning over the railing, and kissed him on his cheek. She was quickly ordered back to her seat. The judge went on to sentence him 1 to 4.5 years in prison, and his manager, Fuller, 4 months in jail with 5 years probation. Everyone, including most of the jury, was shocked by the harsh sentencing for such a minor charge, especially after having the other charges dismissed. The cops walked up, placed the cuffs on Tupac, and took him away to start serving his time. Regardless.
What you mean 1 to 4 years? A sentence should be set like, hey, give me my time. What am I serving? 1 to 4 years? That's a big gap. I could be serving 12 months, or I could be serving 48? Are you serious right now? That's a big difference. Listen, just tell me I'm serving 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. If I'm serving a whole 4, let me know. You feel me? But 1 to 4 years, when do you determine the actual sentencing? Come on now.
If you believe he was guilty or innocent, I wanted to bring to life what actually happened from one of the jurors' observations in the interview. I have down in the description an article on the topic. Make sure you support the other videos on the channel. And I appreciate everyone for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more.
Man, y'all comment down below. Y'all tell me what y'all think about that video right there. If y'all want me to go check out the article in the description, that like he said, I will check that out. Or y'all can leave the link in the description. That'd be easier if y'all leave the link in the description. You feel me? Y'all, like I said, y'all make sure y'all get the video to 25 likes if y'all want more content like this, man. April, we coming in heavy and hot. You feel me? Heavy and hot. I just did a prank on y'all too. By the time y'all seeing this, y'all won't even know I did a prank on you. I mean, y'all already know I did the prank. You feel me? Yeah, I dropped that April 1st. You should have already seen it coming, my brother. I'm pranking y'all. I just want to see what y'all reaction is. We back. We back and we better. I would never let numbers or any of that stuff. I'm not gonna say never, because that stuff does not motivate me at all. But it's like, why quit? It's only going to get, my numbers only going to get lower. You feel me? My numbers are only going to get lower if I quit. You feel me? So why not just keep fighting, keep pushing, and hope they grow? I actually like the grind of starting back over, but I had intentions of elevating higher and higher. And then I just didn't reach my goals. Every month I set a goal, and my goal was to keep going up, and I couldn't meet those expectations. But you know, I never quit. I never stop. I will let y'all know if I ever felt that way before I would just do it. You feel me? But I'll see y'all in the next video. Hope y'all enjoy it, man.